Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys are having an excellent week so far. Well, you did make it past Monday, so we can check off that box. And today I'm hoping that I can help you check off your event checklist for your nonprofit organization in 5 easy, simple steps. Okay, let me not say easy. Let's say simple. Simple is a better word for these steps because, quite frankly, if it was easy, we know everyone would be doing it. If you don't know me, I'm Gabby. I am a brand strategist and nonprofit consultant, and I help nonprofits impact more people through strategic planning and digital marketing. But today, what we're talking about is how to properly market your event. And really how to make it a cohesive experience, not just for you and your team, but also for your donors so that you can keep them engaged, so that you can collect all the data that you need to not only get your donors this year, but get them to come back year after year after year. After all, when people sponsor events, they are really supporting the audience that you attract. And they're really wanting to tie themselves to your cause. So, by being able to provide them data, and we'll talk a little bit about that data today, by being able to provide them that data, you're actually giving them a reason to come back. So I actually started out from the very, very beginning working on my own events, my own business seminars. Now, at this time, I was not really searching for sponsorships or anything, but the same principles applies because guess what? I wanted high engagement. And if I got sponsorship, even better, right? Because who wants to pay for this event completely out of pocket? And I'm sure as a nonprofit, when you think about your big gala, your golf tournament, these are super important things that make you think, okay, I want to have a lot of people there. I want to get the money to throw the event. And I want to do it in a way that doesn't harm my organization's larger purpose. Because what you don't want to do is for your team to feel or begin to feel that the event that you're hosting to publicize the work you've done is actually more important than the work that you've done and the work that you have to continue doing while planning this event. So, the biggest thing I think I realized in this process of planning my own seminars, this was back when social media was in its infancy, when live streaming was like, what is that? And I think the biggest thing I realized was I had to start earlier. I had to start earlier. So if there's one thing that you hear from this, when it comes to events, the earlier the better. I would rather you start planning an event 5 years in advance than 5 months in advance than 5 weeks in advance. So typically I like to see a 9 to 12 month window where my clients are coming to me and they're saying, okay, Gabby, we're ready to get started with planning this event. Walk us through what the marketing process looks like. The other thing I realized is that I really needed more support. It wasn't enough for me to simply show up. It wasn't enough for me to simply try and wear all these hats. I couldn't host the event, speak at the event, market the event. I couldn't do all that. I really needed additional support. And the other piece is just having a plan, having a succinct marketing plan, having a strategy to get the people in the door, to get the donations, to get the sponsorships, making sure that I'm giving myself and my target audience, whether that's for sponsorships or attendees, making sure I'm giving them enough time to make decisions and make preparations to attend and or support my event. So when you think about those three things, right? Realizing you need more time, realizing you need support, realizing you need an actual plan. Let's talk about the actual process of achieving more donor engagement and sponsorship dollars for your events. So, the very first thing that you've got to do is you have to understand the event, the team, and the role of the person that you're going to bring into your organization because you do need more support. And a lot of these one off projects, you don't want them taking away from the work you do in the community because that work is super valuable. And so, the first piece is making sure that there's a very clear set of goals and expectations around the event itself. A lot of times we may convolute an event to say, oh, this event is supposed to do these 20 things. But in reality, we might be better off with having 1 to 3 set goals. So when I come in the door with my clients, the first thing I want to understand is, what is the purpose of the event? Who is the team that is managing the event? And then what is my role? And what does that look like in the scheme of things? So that I don't become a distraction to the work that needs to be done, but I can really synergize with the organization. I think that's such an important part of what we do, because I don't want us to become the consultants that are taking the energy and time away from the team. Our goal is to energize the team. Our goal is to get them excited and make it simple and make it easy for the team. So once we get that down pat, the next piece is intentional sales and marketing development. Now, although we focus a lot on marketing, we focus a lot on sales as well. Why? Because what you're selling, it has to be intricately linked with what you are marketing and how you are marketing. And a lot of times, the salespeople or the fundraising people in your organization often have insight that other people in the organization don't have. Like, what is the average donor profile? And what is the sponsorship profile you usually see? That way, they can always help us to understand what has attracted people to the organization in the past and how we can leverage that messaging, that content, and that information to continue to attract people in the future. From there, we go into content capture and social media setup. So ideally, fingers crossed, you already have some content for us to work with. But in the case that you don't, this is a time that we actually use to go and help you capture the content we need to really amplify your brand message and really help people see what this event actually looks like. So we do your social media setup, which includes complete auditing of your social media accounts, your online presence, and really deciding which networks make the most sense for this particular event. A lot of people think that they have to be on every single social media network. And what I often remind clients and anyone I talk to is that every social media network you're on requires a separate set of operations. There is no one-to-one network, meaning the content you create for Instagram will never work perfectly for Facebook, and that will never work perfectly for Twitter, and that will never work perfectly for LinkedIn. So as you go on these social media networks, especially when you're doing event marketing, what you don't want to do is put yourself in a position to take on operations that are not sustainable for your organization. So unless your organization is specifically marketing to children, you probably shouldn't be on TikTok. There's literally no need for you to be on TikTok or start a TikTok campaign. Even though it sounds cool, it's just not necessary. And so you can be effective on a LinkedIn or on a Facebook or on an Instagram or even on a Twitter or a YouTube, depending on your audience and depending on what it is you're doing. And we really help you to develop the strategy. From there, we're strategizing on social media. We're creating content for you. We're posting for you. We're making sure that the team is all on one page in preparation for the event. And we roll into the event capture plan. So this is where we work with your photographers, your videographers, and any other multimedia companies that you have coming in to make sure that they're capturing the right information. We also work with your event team to make sure that they're capturing the proper data. And this is essential because guess what? When we put together that impact report, Marvel, stop. When we put together that impact report, guess what? We need information and data that says, hey, this is the information that we have. This is the impact we were able to give. We want to be able to put a numerical value to these different data points. And that's super, super essential for your sponsors. They want to know demographics. They want to know what impact you have. They want to know, did you start at 25% and ramp up to 30% or 35%? This is the information they want to know. So while we're working with you and the event staff and team, we actually work to make sure that questionnaires for attendees include that data, that your donor data is captured. And if there's data that's missing, that you can integrate that seamlessly into the overall scope and flow of the event. From there, we actually have the event. So we're there on site to make sure that your photographers and videographers know exactly what to take photos of, exactly what to capture. We create shot lists for your team. And from there, we move into the impact report. So we work with you, we grab all the data, and we put it together in a digestible slide deck that you can present to your board, you can present to your sponsors, or any other interest that you have that you want to demonstrate. Hey, we know what we're doing. We're doing great things and we need you to see it. So that is the ultimate nonprofit event checklist. Okay. Understand the event, the team, and the role. Do intentional sales and marketing development and make sure those two teams talk if they are larger teams. Have content capture and social media auditing and setup. You want to get into the event capture and execution. And then finally, the impact report, which is my favorite part. We do all these things through our nonprofit signature event marketing, where we help small to mid-sized nonprofits increase their signature event donor engagement through content marketing. This is a 6 month, 6 to 9 months, depending, process where we help you put together your pitch decks and any other data you might need to secure sponsors and keep them on board for the following year. If you're interested in this service, feel free to click the link below, send me a message, or you can send me an email and we can work together to see if your organization is a good fit for us. But I am going to go and check on my chicken in the oven. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you were able to check off some boxes. I hope you're able to check off your Tuesday box with some good energy going into the middle of the week. And I will talk with you soon. Bye.